human being, when we are born into a society, we have to live in that society or we have to opt for another society. Communication is something which is playing a major role in establishing the relations with other individuals or groups or the institutions which are there in the society. So here communication has become like a basic need of human beings, like shelter, food and clothing, etc. So without communication, we cannot live in a society. So as a member of the society, we are establishing relations with other individuals or as a member of the groups or maybe as a member in the society, we may be establishing the relations with other individuals. So here communication is something which is helping us to express ourselves, our feelings, our emotions, etc. And it also in turn to understand others, their feelings, their emotions, etc. We have to communicate. So always we are as part of the society, either we are involved in sending messages or also receiving the messages. So from getting up from your bed, you are starting thinking of something, which means communication is taking place within the self. So communication has become a part of life, and it is something which is always happening in the self or when we are communicating with other individuals. Number of ways where the communication is taking place. If you see the definition of communication, the transmission of information, messages, ideas, etc., from one person to another person or from one place to another place is called as communication. So here we are transmitting the information. Either it can be one-on-one communication or communication can be within the self or which may takes place within the group or maybe where we are using mass communication as a channel of communication to communicate with the large number of audiences. But whatever may be the kind of communication, here communication is shared. So here the process of communication or the transmission of information and messages, emotions, attitudes, ideas, etc., from one person to another person is called as communication. The word communication is derived from the Latin noun communis and the Latin verb communicare, which means to make common. As human beings, we are involved in a number of ways where we are communicating with the other individuals. So, the transmission of information, messages from one person to another person or from one place to another place is called as communication. Not only the human beings, but the birds, the animals, the fish, all those living beings also will communicate with each other. So they make different kinds of sounds when they want to communicate with the other animals. But human beings, as we have a language that is we are using to express ourselves to the other individuals. So language is a code through which we are communicating with the other individuals. But along with that, we also use nonverbal cues, nonverbal signs to communicate the information effectively with the other individuals. So when you are communicating body language, the tone and tenor of your voice, the facial expressions, the movements of the hands, everything will communicate with the other individuals. If it is a one-on-one communication. And a lot of meaning is accompanying when you are using this non-verbal cues and signs. For example, if you want to communicate that you love a person a lot, etc., a small hug may communicate the information. That communicates a meaning for the other person who is receiving the communication. Communication is not only important for human beings, but it is also important for the all living beings, all living things. They also communicate with each other, making different kinds of sounds. The sounds may be understood by the other animals or the living beings. But as a human being, we are using a language, a code to communicate with other individuals. We'll see what are the elements are there in the communication process. First element in the communication process is source, second is message, third is channel, fourth is receiver, fifth is feedback. You can also write the noise. Source is the first element in the communication process. Source is an individual. Source is a media organization if it is a mass communication. Source is someone who is wishing to communicate some information to the receiver. So source is having some information and source wants to communicate that information or pass that information for the listener, viewer or a individual if it is a one-on-one communication. Source may be a poet, source may be a artist, source may be a filmmaker, source may be a media organization, source can be also a individual person. Source is who is having some information with him and wants to communicate that information with the receiver. Message is something what the source is communicating for the receiver. So the receiver may be an individual person or receiver may be a group of members or receivers may be the large number of audiences what we call the mass media audiences. So message is nothing but the information or the content what we are calling it as a message. Message is nothing but what the source wants to communicate with the receiver. Channel is also an important element in the communication process. Without the channel, the communication will not reach the receiver. So the channel is nothing but the carrier of a message from the source to the receiver. So unless there is a carrier of the message or the channel of the message, the receiver will not be able to receive your communication. The channel is a carrier of message from the source to the receiver. Channels include the air which carries the sound waves from one person to the other person, or a channel can be a newspaper, magazine, book, television, or radio that is used to carry the information from the source to the receiver. We may be having the source, we may be having a message, but unless there is a channel to carry the information or message from the source to the receiver, the communication will not reach the receiver. A channel must be suitable for the target group, whoever is the target of the communication, whoever is receiving the communication. Then when it comes to the receiver, so any communication will have a target group. So the target group, whoever is there, we are calling them as the receiver. So the receiver may be a individual person or the receiver may be a members of a group or the receivers may be the audience of mass media. Have another element is something we call as feedback. So feedback is nothing but the reaction or response of the receiver after receiving a message from the source. When a receiver is perceive the information, it will have its impact. So the message will have its impact on the receiver when he is receiving the communication. Again, it is depending on the receiver, the way they want to perceive the information when they receive from a source. They may simply reject the information, sometimes they ignore the information, sometimes they may misinterpret the information, sometimes they simply reject the information. If it is a one on one communication or interpersonal communication between the two individuals, the feedback is immediate and instant. And it is happening in a group. Suppose if it is a one source is addressing a group of members, etc. All the group of members, whoever is maybe receiving the communication, may get a chance to give their feedback to the source. And sometimes the group members, on behalf of the group members, an individual may also give their feedback to the source. In mass communication, the feedback is delayed, which means you will not be able to get the immediate feedback from the people who are receiving your communication. Those are called as a mass media audiences. When you are reading a newspaper, as a reader, The reader may send his feedback in the form of letters to the editor. And depending on the space available in your newspaper, your letter may be printed or may not be printed. But by writing a letter to the editor of the concerned newspaper, you can just express your opinion regarding the items or regarding the news stories which are printed in the newspaper. Otherwise, a newspaper organization has to conduct a research and they can get the opinion of the people regarding the news stories which are printed or the information which is transmitted through the radio networks or also the television networks. One more element of communication is the noise. So noise represents all the kinds of barriers which may interfere the process of communication. Anything which disrupts the communication process, that is called as a noise. It can be a atmospheric barriers or the physical barriers. It can be a mechanical barrier, it can be a linguistic barrier, it can be a cultural barriers or psychological barriers, etc. All of them are clubbed under common label called noise. And the two more elements you can add to the elements of communication are encoding and decoding. The formulation of the message in the mind of the source is called as the process of encoding. So here the process includes the source is deciding what to be communicated, is deciding on the information to be communicated, he's deciding on the channel to be used, he's also deciding on the form of the message to be communicated for the receiver. So the form may be if it is a radio, television, or electronic signals, etc., or it can be a printed information, whatever may be, which carry the information from the source to the receiver. Decoding is nothing but the interpretation of a message by the receiver is something we call it as a process of decoding. So decoding is something where the receiver is looking meaning which he received from the messages, okay, from the source. The meaning must be common for the both the source and the receiver. So the elements of communication includes the source, message, channel, receiver, feedback, noise, then encoding and decoding. So these are the elements of communication.